Well, today I actually got cool enough weather to get outside and shoot a good bit, so we're gonna see how far out we can touch with this dialed Arxos with some heavy hunting arrows. More often than not, I get asked, is the dialed Arxos worth $600? Unfortunately, due to the timing of when I was sent this sight, I can tell you it's definitely not gonna be for everybody, but if you're somebody that shoots a lot and is familiar with sight tape calibrations and you're trying to get the most distance out of your sight, I think it will be worth it. First step, just like any other sight, gotta get her hitting at 20, so I'm starting off really close. God, I actually have a breeze. That was low. Bring that down just a tick. I will say, as far as beauty goes, she's a dime piece. Maybe it's just my bow making it look that good, I don't know. Oh. Oh, just a little low. In this video, I did mention that these are heavy arrows, and yeah, for me, they are heavy. They are 588 grains. The triads from Carbon Express, they got a 95 grain half out with a 100 grain tip. And I'm pulling 29 inches, 70 pounds. Whee! I've missed shooting this prime. All right, okay, at 10 yards, gonna step back to 20. So some of you people that pay very close attention are gonna say, you're using different arrows, Scotty, they're not gonna fly the same. No, I'm not. It's the same arrows, same length, same spine. Just a different color wrap. I ran out of the colors I wanted to use. A little love to the left. Oops, that's going the wrong way. Oh, string don't pop. Oh, smash daddy. Still a little left, that's good. Oh. I think that went where I wanted it to. Can't remember if I mentioned in the beginning of the video, but I am running the 3-pin configuration. Ooh, without stabbing myself, I don't know how well y'all can see that. I love 3-pin vertical. Shot a lot on the spot hogs, and when Dial said I had the option, I said, give me 3. Give me more distance. Ooh, that arrow did something funky. Might need to put that one in timeout. I hope it was the arrow. We'll say it was the arrow. Oh yeah, definitely the arrow. All right, one center punched here. Got 2 pretty close right here on this dot, so 20 set. And this amazing pull-out job is sponsored by Big Shot Targets. I'll tell you the most aggravating part about this whole process is having to move this camera back every 10 yards, because that's what we're about to have to do. So got it dialed in at 20. Haha, see what I did there? Dial. That was stupid. And what I've already done here is, because I'm going for max yardage just to see how far I can shoot with this sight with these heavy ass arrows, is I went ahead and flipped my arrow rest up through the arrow in backwards, just to give y'all a little, what do you call it? So you can see what I'm talking about basically. If the arrow rest was up, I got my odd fletching up, which is actually right there, indicated by the whitewater emblem, and lowered my sight housing as low as it'll go. And as soon as it got close, or close enough for, you know, me, went ahead and made a mark so I know not to go past that. So right now, I'm gonna slide her back up to 20 yards. Boom. And now what we do is walk it back in 10-yard increments. Now I will say, I think I forgot a step, and by forgot a step I mean I'm pretty sure I was supposed to start off at 5 yards instead of 20, but I don't think it will mess me up, but we'll find out. Let's see where she's at now. She's at 22. Wow, I was not even close. Back it up, back it up. You got it, you got it. Only 90s babies will know. Hey, 30.2, I can live with that. Roll this bad girl down a little bit, roughly right there. And this is the part where you're like, I just hope I hit the target and don't lose these pretty arrows that I just built. By the way, that arrow that was acting up was the orange arrow, so I got rid of it. I don't know what his problem was. Top pin, 30 yards. Ooh. Oh, just a tick low. Honestly, probably not even enough to write home about, but I'm gonna write home about it. Nope, too low. Gotta go down a little bit more. Chase the arrow. If you hit left, you move your sight left. If you hit low, move your sight low. It ain't just for the $600 sights, it's for the $45 Walmart sights too. I hold this bow so freaking good. It's literally been months since I've shot my prime. Oh, pinwheel, okay. So now, where's my pin? So now we're gonna make a mark right here. By the way, you have to have a magical pin. Oh crap, this one might have ran out of juju. Oh, there we go. You have to have a magical pen in order to write on these dialed blank tapes. Literally, I had to go through my whole junk drawer to find one that would work on here. All right, so we got a mark done at 30. Now we're gonna walk back to 40. But first I gotta go get my arrows because I only have 3 of those. All right, so now we've stepped back to 40. Dial her down a little bit. And see where we're at now. Just a tick low on that shot. These triads are flying pretty good. I usually don't shoot this heavy of an arrow, and to be perfectly honest, when I built them, I had no idea how heavy they were gonna be because I didn't realize they came with a 95 grain half out. But it's one of the more deals, like once you build one and weigh, you're like, oh, screw it, I'm already here, go ahead and build some more. What's the Chisos tell me? Ooh, tells me it's blurry. Oh, tells me pinwheel. Got our 40. All right, I don't expect y'all to stick around for all 10-yard increments, so I'm gonna see how far back we can go and then bring y'all up to date. All right, so I was able to get out to right around 80 yards with my top pin, which is very impressive. Like I said, considering these are 580, 588 grain arrows, almost 600 grains, really heavy. And so now what I'm doing is calibrating my second and third pin so I always know where they're gonna be. I just shot my second pin at 30 yards and it was hitting high. So now I'm moving my indicator from my second pin to where it needs to be and correlate and tell me the honest truth of where my second pin is always gonna be at. Because the only aggravating thing about this site is your 3 stack pins are non-adjustable. So once you calibrate your top pin, whatever your second and third pin land on or is shooting at, there's nothing you can do about it. That's what it's set to. I will say, moving these indicators for your second and third pin, a little aggravating. Almost need some tweezers to kind of wiggle them back and forth. I'm afraid if I loosen this thing too much, it's gonna fall off. Oh, there we go. Just had to keep going. All right, cool. See where that hit. I think we about got this second yardage whooped. Looks like it's probably gonna be around 35 yards for my second pin. I'm gonna sling one more just to confirm. Blew through that click. I mean, just a hair low. I'll take a step forward, like that's gonna make that big of a difference, but it may. Oh yeah, that's money. So what yardage am I at exactly? 38 and a half. So when I'm dialed all the way to the top, my top pin's set at 20. My second pin's gonna be set at around 38 yards. So that's gonna be the preset. So let me move that indicator so I know what it's telling me, where that second pin is at all times. And then we're gonna go on to our third pin, see where it's at. And this set screw, sorry I'm not giving y'all the best angles because I am out here self-filming and I'm doing the best I can with what I got. All I got's me. I will say moving these indicators is to be desired. I hope they do something different later on down the road with being able to move these a lot easier. All right, got that done. Now we're gonna see where our third pin's hitting. And so I'm gonna go ahead and back up to about 40, 42, because I think it's gonna be pretty far out there as well. It's crazy the amount of distance from getting so far, once again, with as heavy of an arrows we're shooting, or I'm shooting. And I'm at 46 yards. Hey, cat. Sorry, I got distracted. 46 yards, and let's see where that third pin's gonna hit. Oh, wow. Oh, freaking pinwheel. Okay. So, guess 46 yards on that third pin. Sweet. Hello, little doggy. So this right here was one of my last shots on my second pin. This was my last shot to sight in my second pin. And then I got lucky with my third pin. One shot, center punched it at 46 yards. So now I gotta move the indicator for that third pin so it doesn't lie to me either. I've said it many a times, you cannot beat the way a big shot target pulls. Especially with as heavy these arrows are. My bow's not the fastest, but it's not the slowest either. The way it's bearing up in these targets, and I'm still able to just boop. I mean, your 4-year-old can pull your arrows for you. So mathematically, if my top pin bottoms out, or excuse me, my housing is going to have fletching clearance issues at 80 yards. Let's see, scroll on down to 80. Damn, my mathematically, my third pin should hit the target at 100 yards exactly which actually maxes out these sight tapes. If you want further sight tapes from Dialed, you can actually send them your specs on their website. They got something going on there based off your draw length, peep height, and all that good jazz, from what I understand. I know there's some kind of way they do it, but if you want to shoot out to 140 yards, if your bow and arrow and your length and poundage allows you to do that, they can build you a sight tape for it. Which, I ain't gonna lie, it don't really make a whole lot of sense to me why they send sight tapes that only max out at 100 when this sight is known for getting more distance for the shooter. Now, granted, if I was getting ready for a total archery challenge, yeah, I'd have them build me some sight tapes that probably went out to 150 yards. I'm really excited this after this fall, when I start getting ready for a total archery challenge, to see how far I can actually shoot with my tack arrows, which are like 200 something grains lighter than what I'm shooting now. Should I walk it back and make sure it's on, or should I just send it? Nah, I'm just gonna send it. All right, 100 yards, well actually 100.2 yards. And depending on how this first shot goes, we may get some more camera angles. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it from that far away, but it should be a pretty good thud if it hits the target. There's just not a tree branch in the way. Third pin. Oh yeah. Oh, I think I hit high. Hit the target, but I ain't gonna lie, I was a little nervous because I legit did not walk this back. I just came back here and said, well, we'll see if I did it right. Let me hold a little bit better on this shot. Hey, that shot sounded a lot cleaner. Oh, that didn't sound clean. Well, while I go see if I can recover any of those arrows, mine's one to actually hit the target. My initial issue, and I'm certainly not blaming the sight, but something I'm not a fan of, and I don't know if y'all can see it, is how fat this V is at the bottom for the bottom pin. It's really wanting to cover up a lot of the target, which is kind of one of the reasons why I'm kind of struggling at that yardage. But if we're being honest, considering I just walked it back, had 1.5 hit the target, I'm relatively happy with that. I got another camera running down there, so I'm gonna go see if I can find my arrows and shoot it again. Well, that's not good, but at the same time, it kind of is, because I'm hitting high, which means I can actually get more yardage out of that sight. Yeah, I ain't got a clue where those other 2 arrows went, which, I mean, I got plenty of them, but at the same time, I just made those. So that's actually extremely interesting, because that means I could probably shoot 105 yards once I go up to a little bit faster sight tape. And that's the thing about a whole calibration ordeal, is you really don't know how good or bad of a job you did until you start shooting further yardages. So here is my final thoughts of the Dialed Arxos. Here's who I'm not gonna recommend this sight to. I don't care what kind of credit card limit the bank gave you. If you're new into archery and you want the best of the best, and I'm not saying this sight's the best of the best, but it is considered a top tier sight, I'm gonna say stay away from it for right now. And the reason being is because if you're not familiar with the calibration process of a single pin, let alone a multi-pin slider, you're gonna get frustrated, you're not gonna like it, and you're gonna hate archery. And I don't want you to hate archery. I want you to stay in the sport and have fun. On the flip side, if you're somebody that's been shooting for a while, very familiar with calibration processes, and don't mind spending a little extra time to critique your yardage tapes, like I'm still gonna have to do because obviously I'm hitting a little high, and you want to get the maximum amount of distance out of whether it be a tack arrow or obviously a hunting arrow, I still can't believe over 100 yards with almost a 600 grain arrow. That's almost unprecedented, especially for somebody that has an average draw length and is pulling an average amount of poundage like I am. So once again, for the guy that's been shooting for a while and you know you're gonna stay in the sport and you're already addicted and you're looking to critique your shooting ability and also get the maximum amount of distance out of every shot, I would highly recommend taking a closer look at this sight.